Yep.
Hello, Ron from RV Warehouse here. For those of you that have the Suburban Hot Water System, your hot water system has a anode rod. Now, some people are obviously familiar with this, and others, I find, have no idea what an anode rod is. So we're about to check this one. So this will give you a good demonstration on how to check the anode rod inside your Suburban Hot Water. So first of all, we'll open up the cover, exposing inside. When you look down into here, you'll notice a nut, which is the anode rod itself. Simply grab yourself a 22mm socket onto the anode rod and simply just undo it. And then as we remove it, water will come flushing out. That's about 22 litres of water, and you'll notice that the spent anode rod residue is there. But this here is the anode rod. Now this particular anode rod has got some corrosion. The purpose of this anode rod is to ensure that all the minerals and stuff in the water that causes rust does not affect the actual tank. So the rusting will not occur because it's eating this anode rod. And you'll notice here it's eating into it. This one is still in very good condition. There's still plenty of meat left on there. You'll notice on the end of the anode rod there's a metal steel rod right in the center. Eventually the water will eat all this down to that center rod, and once you start seeing the center rod and most of this magnesium anode dissolved, it's time for a new one. But this one's still got plenty of life, doesn't need to be replaced. Sometimes it's good to have these. One of these spare in your kit, so you can swap it over at any time. The further west you go, the water becomes a lot harder and will eat these up quicker. So that's an anode rod. So check it out, let all that water flush out. We'll actually, once that empties, we'll put the hose in there, we'll flush it out, we'll get all the rest of the remaining residue out, and this one will go straight back in. Like I said, if it is spent, then grab a new one and put a new one in. There's aftermarket ones and there's also genuine rods. We always recommend using a genuine, but there are cheaper old aftermarket ones out there which can do the same trick. So check your anode, make sure there's plenty of meat on there, and that's just another helpful tip.